All right, folks, welcome back to another episode of the Blockbuster Brothers. Today, we are talking about the Eternaut Netflix show, Argentinian. We are discussing episode 3 today. Brian, I watched it. You watched it. What'd you think?
You know what? I think as every episode progresses, it picks up even more. And I just love the energy. Again, continue to love kind of the snowfall and the city and kind of the silence of it. Something in particular that I'm really liking about this kind of apocalyptic story compared to others is that, with so much of the apocalypse stories, there's such like a presence of this like I know that there is an alien force and they're kind of alluding to it, but they're kind of allowing it just to be the snowfall, which kind of turns the attention back onto the people and like the dynamic of how people relate and interact with each other in a society when society is kind of collapsing or they're in stress. So I think it adds and turns the attention back on to the people and puts the focus there as opposed to like, let's say Last of Us, where it's like, oh, these zombies. And I know they still put the attention on, it still turns its attention on the people, but I think it's nice to like have it be a mystery to everybody and not be like, oh, a zombie. I think it lends itself even more for the people to turn on each other or to just show uh, society's relationship with one another. And it kind of almost like how not to I think this might be a bad comparison, but like the way like Godzilla minus one, whereas like
Mm.
yes, there is this huge scale thing going on, but it still remains small at a level of relatability of just relationships. And that's why I'm really liking the story. I think that's what maybe drew people to the comics. I know there's so much more to the comics than that, and again, please feel free to let us know any inside information that you have. But Stephen, what'd you think about it?
Yeah, well, it's interesting you bring that up. I think that's a good comparison with Godzilla minus one. I felt this episode in particular was to me where the point where I was like, "Ooh, I'm really into this show now," because it seemed like things started to fragment. People started doing their own thing. The guy didn't lend the car, right, to the other dude. And by the way, just like as a thing, the opening scene of this episode was so genuine and authentic. I almost thought I was watching a documentary to the point where, the camera floats behind this person watching this pickup soccer game, her calling the guy over. It seemed the direction and just the performance that the actors gave just in that opening scene was so good. And but just back to the contained stuff, I agree with you. I think it was really awesome, and I really felt like this was where things were starting to get really wild. Who are these roaming groups of people that are patrolling looking for cars? Who is on whose side, who's going to decide to do their own thing, regardless of what the group's doing. And it just felt like an escalation that I was very much looking forward to. And little did I know that I really needed. And now I like the pilot. I thought it was good, but I'm at the point now with episode 3 where I'm kind of all in.
Yeah, and so I think we're gonna have to continue this train all the way to the end of the series. Please let us know what you guys think of episode 3, what you liked about the episode, if there's anything you didn't like about the episode, and stay tuned and follow through for the rest of the season. We appreciate you all watching another episode of the Blockbuster Brothers.